Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Mike. Welcome to Mojo Group. So in today's video, I want to talk about some safety tips, and typically I do this once a week or once every other 2 weeks. And recently someone actually made a comment that I thought was pretty solid. The comment said the goal is to be an old pilot as compared to a bold pilot. And this is so true, so I'm gonna try to use this as the theme of the video. Now before we continue, I do want to let you guys know about my new blog. It's called theincomedriver.com, and this video is brought to you by that blog. Generally I talk about how to build habits and how to get your finances together. I'm not an expert, so a lot of things that I talk about or write about on the site is my own personal experience and things that I've done to help me build sort of the life that I live now. So you guys check it out. Again, the site is theincomedriver.com. All right, let's get to it. So the first safety tip that I have for you today is, as a pilot, remember to fly defensively. Every time you're in the pilot seat of an airplane, fly defensively. And this is what I mean by that. Okay, so when you think of riding a motorcycle, for example, one of the safety tips that people generally talk about is you have to be a defensive rider. And what that means is when you're on the road, you have to ride as if the whole world is trying to get you. And for you as a rider, your mental note should be, I'm going to be ready to defend myself. Meaning if a driver just swerves right in front of me, I'm already prepared to make a proper reaction to someone who, just comes right in front of me. And that happens. If you've ever ridden a motorcycle, that always happens. It happens more frequently than you can think about. So the same mentality, take it into the cockpit. Whenever you're flying, always fly with just a tiny bit of paranoia and act as if all the other airplanes in the skies are idiots and they're trying to get you. When you fly defensively, it forces you to constantly check around you, to constantly look out the window, to constantly do a sort of 180 view to see if an airplane is close by or whatnot. So it's always a good thing to fly defensively. And the real reason for this is when you consider airplane accidents, particularly in civil aviation, when you consider specifically mid-air collisions happens in broad daylight. Okay, now for you, you might think, well, it's sunny, it's beautiful outside, it's clear as day. But guess what? That's typically when mid-air collision happens. And you may think to yourself, well, if it's clear as day, why aren't people, looking out to see if there are other aircrafts around them? Why would a mid-air collision happen in broad daylight? But again, it goes to that point. When it's clear as day, you as a pilot might feel more relaxed, and you should feel relaxed behind the cockpit, but you shouldn't feel too relaxed. When the day is really clear, it also means that there are more aircraft. Chances are there are more aircraft that will be up there because it's a nice weather, it's a nice day to fly. So always consider that. All right, and then when you fly defensively, it means that whenever you go out, and this could be either broad daylight where it's nice and sunny, or it could be in cloudy days or in IFR conditions. But either way, when you go up there and you're constantly looking and you're flying with the intention of defending yourself if something were to happen, or if something outside of your control affects your flight, you're able to react quicker than, say, someone who is a little bit more relaxed and not prepared to react as fast. Okay, so that's the point of that tip. My second tip for you is, before you go flying, always check your fatigue level. Okay, so fatigue is actually a real condition, especially in aviation. It's more common than most people think. Being tired is a real thing. If you talk to some airline pilots, they'll tell you. There's even been some coverage over that where, particularly in commercial airlines, because you have pilots fly non-stop for hours, and that can take a toll on the body. That can take a toll on your mental state. And so always check how tired you are before you go up there and sit in the pilot seat. If you realize that you're way too tired, or you're not moving as quickly as you really want to, then get you some 5-hour energy, some coffee, some shot of espresso, or better yet, just avoid the entire flight for the day. This is the reason why this tip is important. If you decide to go up flying and you're tired, chances are you're gonna be forgetful. You're gonna forget things, okay? And also, you're going to react to things slowly. As a pilot, you always want to be on your A game and be able to react to things fast, especially if you're flying a much faster airplane. For you as a pilot, you want to be able to react to things if you're either talking on the radio or you're being given instructions, whatever have you. Any phase of your flight, anything can happen where you need to be able to react to that thing faster. But if you're tired, you're probably going to be a lot slower than you should be. Okay, you're going to be slower to react, you're going to be slower to follow instructions. Hell, you may not even remember things that are being instructed. You may not remember what's being said on the radio, and then you got to take more time on the radio and ask, oh, can you please repeat yourself? So these are the symptoms of being tired, and fatigue is extreme tiredness. So always check your fatigue level before you go up and fly. Tip number 3, ATC is not always right. Okay, now for the pilot watching this video, let me explain before you get crazy. One of the safety rules in flying is actually to be obedient, meaning to follow instructions. When you're flying, you're going to be talking to air traffic control on the radio, either during your takeoff, while you're in cruise, or during your landing. You are going to be talking to ATC. And for your own safety and for the safety of everybody else around you, you want to follow instructions, obey instructions. But there's an exception. If at any point ATC asks you to do something that jeopardizes your own safety, then you have a legal obligation to not follow that instruction. Okay, again, let me repeat myself. That's the only one exception. Okay, the exception is if you're being instructed to do something that will jeopardize your own safety, then you have the legal obligation to not do it. Now, it's very rare that this happens, but it does happen. Sometimes ATC can be wrong. And here's an example where ATC could have added to the accident of this aircraft. So before I play this video, I want you to try and pay really close attention to the audio part. Pay attention to what's being said between the pilot and the tower. Okay, things that the tower is asking the pilot to do. Now, the backstory here was a Cirrus pilot was coming into land at what looked to me, or what sounds to me, like a busy airport, and you had commercial jets going in and out of this airport. And on this day, this pilot, which was a small airplane, was trying to come into land.
4252 Golf Hobby Tower, you number 2, following 737 on a 3-mile final. Calculate turbulence from runway 4, clear to land.
Proceed direct to the numbers for runway 4. Direct to Hobby.
Hobby 4252 Golf.
Cirrus 52 Golf, maintain maximum forward to the speed if able, and proceed direct to the numbers. 737's on a 9-mile final, following you with an 80 knot overtake.
Cirrus 52 Golf Tower.
4252 Golf.
Yeah, I got traffic behind you. Just go around and fly runway heading now. Maintain VFR to put you back in a downwind for runway 35. The winds are 09 or 0 at 13, gust 18. Can you accept runway 35?
We'll do go around and line up for runway 35, downwind.
52 Golf, fly runway heading for runway 4 for right now.
We'll fly runway heading for 4, 4252 Golf.
52 Golf, when able, go ahead and make a right downwind now for runway 35, and then we'll just go ahead and keep that right turn, runway 35, clear to land. 737 on 5-mile final to runway 4, and you're going to be in front of him.
4252 Golf, turning around for runway 35.
Okay, 52 Golf, yeah, let's just enter the right downwind for runway 35.
Right downwind 35, 4252 Golf.
52 Golf, I'll call your right base now.
Cirrus 52 Golf, 737, that's your 2 o'clock and 3 miles at 900 feet inbound for runway 4. Advise that traffic in sight.
5 traffic in sight, 4252 Golf.
52 Golf, make a right base behind that traffic, runway 35, clear to land. You're going to be following them. They're going to be landing crossing runway prior to your arrival.
We'll make a right base following them, 4252 Golf for 35.
Alpha 3564, Cirrus traffic ahead into your right, heads inside. It's going to make a right base behind you, landing crossing runway behind you.
Alpha 3564.
Cirrus 52 Golf, make a turn left heading 30 degrees.
Left heading 30 degrees, 4252 Golf.
For 52 Golf, did you want to follow the 737 to runway 4?
Yes, that would be great. 4252 Golf.
For 52 Golf, roger. Follow the 737 and to runway 4, clear to land.
So am I turning a right base now, 4252 Golf?
For 52 Golf, roger. Just maneuver back for the straight in. I don't know which way you're going now, so just turn back around to runway 35.
Turning to 35. I'm so sorry for the confusion. 4252 Golf.
That's okay, we'll get it. Okay, yeah, that's fine. 52 Golf. Just make it so you're in a right turn. Keep it tight. I need you to make it tight.
Keeping turn tight. 4252 Golf.
For 0 Golf Alpha, traffic alert heading to your right in 1 mile, 900 feet. 0 Golf Alpha, looking. For 52 Golf, I need you to, okay, there you go. Straight into runway 35, clear to land.
Straight into 35, clear to land, and I don't believe I'm lined up for that. 4252 Golf.
Okay, 52 Golf, roger. Turn to the right and climb maintain 1,600, right turn.
1,600, right turn. 4252 Golf.
52 Golf, yes ma'am, heading about 040.
040, 4252 Golf.
Okay, 52 Golf, let's do this. Can you do a right turn back to join the straight into 35? Could you do it like that?
Yes, right turn back to 35, 4252 Golf.
For 52 Golf, okay, so you're just going to make a right turn all the way around to runway 35, and now you're clear to land.
35, clear to land, 4252 Golf.
Thank you.
So as you've just listened in the audio, you can see the communication between the pilot and tower, and you can come to your own conclusion, but in my opinion, I can definitely sense the pilot being a little aggravated. You hear the tower instructing the pilot to do things over and over and over and over again, and at some point, even as a pilot, you know, you want to be patient, but you can get aggravated. This is a perfect situation where ATC was asking the pilot to do, to me, more stuff than they should have. And also, again, as pilot in command, the pilot of that aircraft could have chosen maybe to either keep going around or, even better, try to land at a closer airport that's not so busy. But again, once you're the one behind the wheel, you can always determine that for yourself. But these are events where we can learn something. All right, if ATC is asking you to do something that's either beyond your own skill or based on the weather condition or the situation at that moment, if you don't feel comfortable doing that maneuver or doing what you're being instructed to do, you can always tell that. You can always ask for another option, okay? Remember, it's a human being at the other end of the microphone, so you don't always have to do anything that you're not comfortable doing. All right, keep that in mind. Tip number 4 is don't be a jerk. All right, if you're driving or you're riding a motorcycle, you find so many jerks on the road, but in the air where what you're doing is more delicate and could be possibly more dangerous, don't be a jerk. You know, whenever you're flying, maybe you're flying at a busy airspace or you're flying at a Class G airport, to be more specific, be considerate. Be considerate of other pilots around you. Don't do anything too stupid. Don't do anything that feels selfish. You know, I've been to uncontrolled airports where I've seen one or two things that I'm just like, man, what an asshole. All right. So by not being a jerk, this is what I mean. Talk on the radio. Jerks don't like to talk on the radio. Talk on the radio. Communication is such a key aspect of flying. It's part of flying, okay? Especially when you're flying in an uncontrolled airspace. Talk on the radio. Let other pilots in that airspace know what it is that you're doing. Let them know where you are. Let them know what type of aircraft you are, so that way they can see you and look out for you or watch out for you. All right? So it is always important to talk on the radio, and if you're being asked something, talk back. Again, communication is key. Another way of not being a jerk, again, is being considerate. If you're in a traffic pattern, for example, at a non-controlled or uncontrolled airspace, if there's more traffic in that pattern, just wait and get in that traffic. Do things the proper way. Don't try to do anything stupid or do something that's not formal to that airport. All right, follow the rules. All right, not being a jerk means following the rules. Don't do anything stupid that can jeopardize your safety or the safety of other pilots in the air or flying around you. Okay, so that is tip number 4. Don't be a jerk. Tip number 5, the last tip I will give you today, is respect mother-loving Mother Nature. Whenever you start your journey at becoming a pilot, one thing you find out early is that Mother Nature rules. Mother Nature rules everything. Mother Nature is absolute God. Meaning, what the weather is doing usually determines whether you fly or not. And as a pilot, you need to respect that. Okay, don't try to be macho, don't try to be too bold and try to do something that could possibly cost you your life or the safety of others. If, again, and I've said this so many times, if you watch my other videos, always have your own limitations, all right, and limitations relating specifically to weather. Okay, so for example, if the FAA tells you that, oh, with your pilot certificate, legally, if it's only, say, 3 statute miles visibility, or it's literally marginal visibility, you can legally go up there and fly. What I say to you is set limits even beyond that. So for example, if the FAA tells me that with my license, legally I can go up there if it's only 3 statute miles. For me, my limitation is visibility has to be at least 5 or 6. Okay, so for me as a low-time pilot, that's what I'm comfortable with. That's setting my own safety limit. All right, and part of that is because I respect the weather. I respect Mother Nature. I understand that even if it's clear right now or if it's partly cloudy, things can change. Things can change drastically. And you've heard me say many times on this channel that it's better to be on the ground and wish you were up there than to be up there and wish you were down. All right, respect Mother Nature. Even as an IFR rated pilot, it's important to always know your limits. Very, very important. So for you as a pilot, when you're on the ground, explore your options. See, okay, what is the weather doing? Look at the forecast. Look what the weather is going to do an hour, 2 hours from now. Again, plan your trip properly and don't be too much in a rush, right? Again, patience, patience, patience. And patience does come with respecting Mother Nature. Okay, so that is all I have for you today, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please give a thumbs up. Again, my name is Mike. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, go ahead and do so. And I will catch you guys on the next video. Peace.